Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Monday. Welcome to the morning. Phillips, Elijah, YZ, Dr. Dane Todd. Sorry for the late start. Well, I don't even know this. Here we go again. Clock's off. Clock's off somehow. It's still 20 seconds or 18 seconds in counting away from our going on. It's Monday. I don't even understand. I just heard music. I'm like, hey, it's getting we're just chatting it up a little bit in here.
Yeah, we're just in here living our best lives.
Yeah.
YZ's waiting for you to start working.
He's like, you guys gotta go. Yeah, like, are you gonna go to work today?
Well, we have a little cue, so I'm waiting for like the little cue.
Yeah, I always do a little nod or something, or
sitting
I
over
take a
there.
breath.
Sitting over there.
I don't know how that clock is possible.
Yeah, how does it exactly 1 minute off?
Yes, because my watch says 9:07 now.
Yeah, and
That is 9:06.
For as long as I've been here, it's malfunctioned probably at least five times.
Well, this one's better. It's 8:07, and only we don't change that one.
it's only off by an hour.
It'll be right in
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, nice.
That'll be right in November.
Yeah, it'll be good. We're
But,
fine.
yeah.
We're fine.
Welcome in. A lot to get to. Hoops. The Natty is set. Husker baseball. Great weekend for those guys out there. Go around the dime a little bit. Look at a little Major League Baseball. Some stories there. Evan Blam with Omaha World Herald. How was Easter, boys? Did you get your asparagus?
Did not.
Oh, boy.
Oh, disappointment reigns supreme, huh?
I got green beans though. That's pretty good.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's
That's
pretty
not
good.
bad.
Good green
That's not
beans.
bad.
I got way too many deviled eggs in me. That's the best part.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I tell
Moderately
you the
concerned
story of-
about being in this enclosed room.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah,
You're
the
good.
story of how the power radio. Now, my mom listens a lot. Which thanks, Mom. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
in the
love
morning
that.
on your way to work, whatever you're doing. She walked in yesterday because remember, if I get ham and deviled eggs, I don't really care about the rest because sides just don't hit as hard for Easter for me. Whether it be a green bean casserole or not a big sweet potato fan. My mom does a broccoli casserole; it's really good too. But she walked. She goes, "I'm sure I'm glad I listened to the radio on Friday." Whoa, hi, Mom. Happy Easter. Good to see you too. She's like, let me tell you the funny story. I wasn't even planning on making eggs until I heard you talk about it on the radio. She goes, I better make the eggs.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah. Hey, good thing. Put it out there.
Yeah.
You willed it into existence
Yes.
right there.
And how were
Yeah.
those eggs?
Oh, boy. Fire. As always.
That's perfect.
As always.
I love deviled egg. I mean, you're basically just mixing up mayo and eggs right
Yeah,
there,
With
which
some-
is
with some
delicious.
mustard. Yeah.
Yeah, a little mustard.
See, I got
little
to have it
paprika.
because, like, that part rolls right into a Happy Masters Week. Nice hat.
Thank you.
Happy Masters Week because now you're in egg salad sandwich world, pimento cheese world.
How about the Lincoln kid down there? At the,
Yes. What was his
at the
Flynn?
drive? Yeah.
Is it
Flynn.
Jackson Flynn?
Yeah.
Sixth grader Irving, correct?
Yes.
Go Aardvarks.
Go
Yeah.
Aardvarks. You're an Aardvark. My wife was an Aardvark.
My kids will be aardvarks.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
The pride of all Irving. Right there.
Walk there. If you're within walking distance of a school, I mean, I don't think there's much debate on where you're
Mm-mm.
going.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Probably pretty close to where I grew up then. I guess spent my middle school years. I moved around a lot, but I got dropped off at school and then walked home was how my dad
Oh,
did
that's
it for the
fair.
most part.
Yeah, yeah. No, I used to be able to walk to elementary and middle school. My dad used to take me if the weather was crummy.
Mm.
It was a pretty far walk, but I lived.
Uphill both ways.
I was just about to say
Definitely
that.
because there's definitely a valley between, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so therefore, yes, it was uphill both ways.
Both ways, it
right?
was.
Like I'm not lying about that. Like
Well,
it just wasn't.
it's a real life story of that
yeah,
actually being real.
life story.
That's
Yeah.
real.
So it works out. It explains
Oh,
a lot.
man.
Yeah.
Easter
So-
was good though. I got to tell a funny
Yeah,
story.
I'll tell it.
So we went to my folks' place yesterday, and the cousins were all there, and my mom, the Easter bunny, right, hid a bunch of eggs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kids go find them all. What we do is we just put them in a pile, and then even them out, divvy them up, so nobody's trying to find individuals. Well, my dad, brother, and I took all the candy out of everything, and it was just jelly beans, and we put them into 5 separate little Ziploc bags. Okay, and about an even amount. My son comes in, takes one look at those bags, looks up, goes, "Grandma, you got one of those scales?"
Oh.
He goes and busts out this scale and weighs all the
We
bags.
wanted to make sure.
Now, here's the thing. He purposely did not take any of the heavier bags. He took the lightest bag of the
Mm.
vibe because we were laughing. My dad and brother and I sitting there,
my
like,
goodness.
dude, you're gonna take the heavy bag, aren't you? He's like, no, I want the light one. He took the
That's
light bag,
solid.
which was actually pretty impressive.
Wow. That's
But it was so funny when he walked. And
Grandma.
yeah, he's just sitting there with the scale out weighing things. I'm like, oh man, this bodes
Even-
well for the future.
Even better yet is your mom had a scale.
Oh, and
I got one of those.
Oh, and it is an old school scale too. This is battery operated. This was not digital. This is analog
When it's
scale,
got-
right?
ding, 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 ding.
Straight metal, right? Like,
Has little weights that you have to push over.
oh no. That you could at least just set it on top and it'd give
That
you an
is
answer.
good
But
stuff.
it was pretty funny.
Oh man, a lot of stuff. Hey, but hope everyone else here had a great Easter as well. We're back at it, but you know what? Also, it's like keyword giveaway time. KFR and Liberty First Credit are giving away $20,000 in spring cash, $1,000 a day.
Just fitting. You know what the word this hour is, Hooksy?
Woo-hoo, what is it?
It's cash.
Cash.
Oh,
All you got to do. There's 10 a day, right? $1,000 every hour, every day. Each keyword is worth an hour. It's only an hour. So from 9 to 10, you better put this number in your phone because it's a text contest. Text the keyword to 402-258-2800.
One more time, the number?
402
Yep.
258 2800 2800.
I don't think I can win, can I?
No, you cannot.
no, you're out. You're out.
Cash.
Cash.
CASH. Cash.
There you go. We'll have keywords.
Pretty
There are 10 keywords every day, every weekday. Not on the weekend. We're off. Every weekday. All you gotta do is text the winning word when you hear it and you're entered. Doesn't matter. That's all you gotta do.
It's 8 a.m. through 5 p.m.
Yep.
So we're talking the final hour of Lincoln's morning news all the way through the final hour of the Average Joe Sports Show.
There you go. And it goes
How
from
about
today, the 6th, all the way through May 1st. That's why you want to. That's why you want to save that text number in your phone. Cash, CASH. Speaking of cash, the Natties tonight,
Yeah, it is.
Michigan, UConn.
Michigan looks
Yeah.
like an absolute wagon, dude. Absolute wagon. Are you kidding me? The stats on them going 90 plus points in every single game with double digit victories. Absolute wagon.
And I was over here being an idiot on Friday, discounting their competition through their run in March Madness. Okay, they beat a good team. They beat a very good team, probably the second best team in America. But Michigan is just on another level, as Dane said. Like, I looked at Tennessee and I went, okay, I know they're underseeded, but they're
Mhm.
still a 6 seed in here. Yeah, they got smoked by Michigan. You can expect that. I didn't expect Saturday. I spent my Saturday fixing my smoker. Got it fixed. All set for Master Sunday. By the
Boom.
way.
Nicely done, buddy.
Yeah,
What'd you have to fix?
The auger on it's a pellet smoker. Had to go pull out the auger. Thankfully, it wasn't a motor issue. I thought it was a motor issue. It was just jammed to all hell. So
Okay, we got it.
Had to pull the auger out, get it all
Woo.
cleaned out.
Just in time
Worked
for
out.
the
Yeah.
Masters weekend.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I did strip out a screw on my smoker, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, such
Yeah.
is life.
Such is life. It happens. Anyway, I reached the point where I kept on like going from my garage back inside, checking scores. I sat down for the end of the UConn Illinois game and see, okay, can Illinois come back on this one? The answer was no. The Michigan game, I just stopped going in for updates. Like, it was just they smoked them
It just wasn't a contest
from the jump. It just was not competitive.
It just
Arizona's whole mantra is like physicality and rebounding and bullying you inside.
Mhm.
And Michigan was like, okay, watch this. Like, they took that personal. Arizona could not hit the broadside of a barn.
Mm-mm.
They couldn't score.
No.
They couldn't score anything.
37% shooting
Yeah.
on the day. If you look at it, there's a couple of stats. We talked about these stats as well. When you look at it, just the 3-point shooting. Michigan knocked down 12 threes, which forced those big leads, and that forced Arizona to try to become that, and they're not. 6 of 17 for them, 35% on their side. About this, I thought this was a telling stat of this, and goes to the shooting of Michigan, but also goes to the guard play of Michigan. 22 assists for Michigan on 33 makes.
Wow.
How about that? It fits you. On the other side, it was 5 assists on 26 makes for Arizona.
And there's a little caveat to that. Elliot Cadeau, I don't know if a lot of his did you guys see what their strategy was with Mara inside. They knew that Arizona was tall and they weren't going to be able to throw alley-oops as they usually do. So their strategy was to kind of lob it off the backboard so that Mara could grab it and go back up. So his shooting percentage, Cadeau's like tanked because of that, but they got a ton of easy points because Mara would just grab the rebound and go right back up.
Yeah, and that's a great point because Cadeau 5 of 17, but he was 13 points, 10 assists on the night. Mara, you mentioned him, 11 of 16, 26 and 9 on the night.
That's team basketball right there.
Yeah,
Boy, they looked really good.
They
Now
were just tossing it off the backboard.
it'll be interesting to see as there was a interesting moment in that with the injury to Lindenberg. And now what does that look like? What's the treatment like? He didn't look great afterwards. Now it is the national championship game. So monitor that just a little bit as they go into tonight's 7:50 tip. That first game was kind of entertaining for a while. UConn prevailing 71-62. If, like I said earlier, Friday, if you're a UConn fan, you buy both sessions because now what are you 8 of 9 times, right? What was it? 7 of 8.
They were 7 of 8 winning the Natty when they go to the Final Four.
They're back
That's
in the
impressive.
championship.
Yeah.
They're back in the championship.
Makes me not want to bet against UConn.
No.
I've got them winning my other bracket, which I hadn't checked until yesterday, and then I found out yesterday I'm in first place.
It's that bald guy power. You
I know.
Can't count out Dan Hurley.
But my aunt has Michigan winning, and so whoever comes up victorious, that's
Ooh.
it. So
You versus the Ant.
So I got to root for UConn right there.
You versus the Ant.
I do like my aunt a lot.
Okay.
So I
That
won't feel
one,
bad if Michigan
7.
wins.
It looks like
Not
to be
that
a
bad.
looks like to be a 7:50 tip tonight on that, which will be carried on a lot of different stations tonight. TBS being probably the top one you'll watch it from right now, and it looks like, what does this say? Michigan by 6.5. I had that line's big. I had a question on this because a lot of people are talking about, and I think this is probably a deeper conversation as you look at Michigan wins. Now, let's say they win. Where do they get placed in history from a basketball team perspective? Because a lot of people like the greatest team ever. Are we also in the world now where we have to divide these out? It's a new era with NIL transfers. Is this the best team ever assembled by transfers? Because there's some really good basketball teams back in the day you throw out there go, that's the best team ever assembled, and they were all 3-4 year guys.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess if you put them down on paper and one team can beat the other one, you got to go with that one being the best team ever. It's not the player's fault that the rules changed,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody adapts to it. I mean, yeah, I suppose, are we going to have to swap out baseball? Right now that we're using the, what is that called with the
ABS challenge?
Yeah, the ABS
stuff.
challenge stuff, right? Like, do we have to have a completely separate set of rules or of, the greatest ever or Hall of Famers based on that, right? We did it with the steroid era in baseball, right?
You can look at football. I mean, there's going to be more records that get shattered because you added an extra game to the regular season and maybe 2 coming up where
NFL's that way, college that way. Because I think this game is a tell of a couple things. Obviously, Michigan being the juggernaut they've been, 6.5 point favorites. Because I think there's 2 discussions that come out of this, depending on who wins. Michigan, they win best team ever, right? Could be. What do they rank? UConn wins. Where does Hurley rank in the coaching world? How high up does he go up on the list real fast?
if they win this game, I mean, what a coaching job it'd be from Hurley to go
do
and-
that.
Yeah.
Now he has
beat this
continued
Michigan squad.
slaying this entire tournament because they've been underdogs a lot throughout this tournament. If you look at the teams they've run through, where does Hurley start to get his flowers at as far as coaching all time to get this done?
Yeah.
There's a couple conversations out there.
That's a slightly more uncomfortable conversation, I think.
I suppose no matter what, if you win the Natty, right, as a coach, you're already up there.
Yeah, I mean, you
right?
look at their run in this tournament. You talk about teams and UCLA round 1. They go out, they beat Michigan. UCLA, Michigan State, Duke, Illinois. That's running through some teams. That's a battle-tested NCAA March Madness run right there. And now you got probably the I mean, arguably being the best team, one of the best two on paper, best teams all year long in Michigan now.
What does it say about that UConn team? We were even talking about the Big East being down this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sentiment everybody had about this team coming into the tournament was
They went through a bad conference.
they are terrible.
Their run is
Yeah.
over, not battle tested.
Yeah, they got a good record, but they didn't play anyone.
Yeah, I mean, they had St. John's essentially. That was the only other team in that conference. You could probably go, oh, they were a formidable opponent. I mean, I think we all rank maybe the Big East in like that sixth best conference out there this year.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And here they are again.
I think Hurley said it best in a press conference, though. They play their best basketball in non-conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament. And that's where it matters the most. It doesn't really matter. It obviously matters what you do in the Big East, but you're playing against Georgetown and Villanova. What does that really matter when you're slaying Michigan State, Illinois, Duke, and those teams? When you do it on the biggest stage possible.
There's a lot of history to be made as well. Records to be broke or snapped. The fact that if Michigan does get it done tonight, which a lot of people are feeling like, you feel like that's where it's headed, it'll be the first Big Ten team to get it done since the year 2000. Last time a Big Ten team won it was Michigan State in 2000. It's a lot of fun coming up, man, tonight. So we'll have that. And again, we'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. We'll give our predictions later on as well. But let's take a break. Speaking of a team that's on fire, how about Nebraska baseball? 21 out of 22. Let's talk about that weekend when we return. It's a newer energy drink for you.
Well, I just realized, I'm looking at it. It's got 0 grams of added sugar, but it does have 1 gram of sugar alcohol.
Is it Alani?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I mean, it's not like it's like.
I got a stern talking to from my family yesterday about my caffeine intake.
Oh,
Oh, really?
like it was like Easter intervention?
Yeah.
Oh,
You should have shared with them that there are studies out there that shows that drinking coffee reduces all-cause mortality.
From the doctor himself.
Fun fact. I don't know how good that
I got family
article
members.
was.
What about
but,
0 sugar energy drinks?
I'm not going to lie. There's not a whole lot of things that get me to drink one of those of any variety.
See, I go work out in between shows, and I feel like I get better workouts. The 0 sugar energy drinks even better than coffee. Give me a little bit of workout here coming up in about an hour and a half.
That's fair.
It was because we started some conversation about heart rate and like resting heart rate and then what it gets up to when you start working out, things like that. And then somehow caffeine got into that, and I was talking about how much caffeine I consume, and then everybody was just, you can't do that. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. I'm on cup number 4 right now.
Yeah.
Well, they're big cups.
The
like
problem
big
is I
gulps.
go from coffee to White Monster energy drinks to Red Bull to
yeah,
You're running the gamut.
yeah.
See, I cut off my caffeine intake. Once it's afternoon, I'm not taking any more,
I'm
more
done,
caffeine.
yeah.
I'm done for the day. Or
I
else won't
will
sleep at night.
oftentimes drink a cup at the very start of clinic at around 12:30.
Mm.
Then I got a good 8.5 hours before bed, so I'm all right.
Most people in my
It's
family
calculated.
are drinking coffee up until bed, which I don't.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I don't need
I don't
that in
get
my
it.
life.
I didn't start doing that until I got with my girlfriend, and in Mexican culture, it's very normal to have a cup of coffee before bed.
Mhm.
So I'll be over at their place, and they're like, "You want some coffee?" I'm like, oh, "Sure."
What?
Yeah, at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's also very normal not to sleep at night.
Yeah.
We just waiting for daytime hours to sleep.
Wow.
My family's the same way where it's 9 p.m. a fresh pot of coffee's going on.
No, I do like it's going to sound like old manish, but I do like a little between 2 and 3. Yeah,
Just a little bit
just a
there.
little bit. I do like one of those.
I'll do it especially if I have to coach that night.
Oh yeah, we got practice tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to figure out how to tell coach we shouldn't practice tonight. It's national championship night.
Just get in, get out.
I can't get away
Efficient
without
practice.
Be over on first base box with your phone on.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to the morning hookup again. Happy Monday. Boy, it's Masters. We're going to talk Masters a lot this week. This is what gets me fired up too. You guys follow the Masters out there. They put out like news bulletins like today. There's a mowing bulletin, how precise they are. They've got a bulletin out that talks about the height of cut grass on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
The tee boxes are 5/16. The fairways are 3/8. Second cut is 1 3/8. The collars are a 1/4. The green surrounds 5/16, and the greens are 1/8. Precision, baby.
I know somebody that his whole job is managing professional golf courses like that, and also baseball fields. When who was it? The Braves and the Reds last year when they played down in the racetrack.
Oh yeah, the Indy 5. Yeah, the Indy. Yeah.
Yeah, he helped build that field. Yeah, he gets to travel around the country and do things like that, and they are very, very, very precise on those things. It's real cool.
That's what I want to do. But yeah, the grass heights are out.
That's impressive. 1/8 of an inch.
Yes. I've been out there a couple of times, blessed to be able to go and walk the grounds out there. They're playing on the most pristine situation ever. When they're in the rough, they're not in the rough. That's like a fairway at some public golf course here in town.
Well, they're not allowed to call it the rough once the Masters broadcast starts.
Nope.
It's the second cut.
I think
it's
it would
not
be
rough.
hilarious to put those guys out on, some local public course. And now they would destroy it, right? Just because they hit the ball 2 miles, right? But just to watch them lose their minds as they're watching their putts like skip across the green.
Well,
like
I just
in
want 'em
multiple different directions,
bouncing
right?
around.
Yeah,
You know what I
bouncing
want?
around, right?
You know what
Like,
I want? I want to watch them hit it, like spray it just a little bit right off the fairway, and it's in a dirt patch. Try that.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
yeah.
Bryson talked about this a couple of weeks ago on one of his YouTube videos where they were playing some public course and he was talking about, he's like, this is harder than the pro course. He's like, the pro courses with like how the greens are set up and how quick there's things that are challenging there, but in terms of going and hitting the golf ball, he's like, it's so much harder to make clean contact at a public course like this that's all beat up.
Take that, Bryson.
Yeah, you putt on green number 1, it's a parking lot, right? And green number 2, you're like in the marsh, right?
Yeah.
Like
Blaze it lies, brother.
yeah, you're just hosed. I would love to see
You got a
that.
goose that took holes out of the green here and you got to avoid those holes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
What do we do? The goose poop on the green? No, if you want to grab it, grab it.
Speaking of golf, Elijah got out this weekend.
Boy,
I did get out yesterday.
Okay.
Went and walked 9 yesterday on Easter. Beautiful day
Oh, it's
for
perfect yesterday.
it. Hooksy gave me some grip tips on Friday out in the parking lot.
We're not doing this anymore, are we?
I was hitting shots. Now the score at the end of the round
Not
would
worry
not
about
indicate how well I was playing because I think I need to go in and redo my yardages now because I was smoking everything dead straight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just a little hand, man.
But it felt good.
No hook.
There was a couple shots where I did hook a little bit, but I got a little bit more. I felt like I was controlling the club better with the right hand. And I felt like my club face, I could actually control if I was open, if I was closed.
Yeah.
It was like, oh,
Just slight change. It is a progression. I've said it's the most golf I've been doing for a while, but it's the most frustrating thing ever. But I enjoy it so much. The pain of it. The
Yeah.
dog's golfing now.
Yeah, I haven't played yet this year. Clubs are still in the bag. I gotta go get new clubs from my daughter today, so I gotta go do that. Turns out
she's
they
getting
keep
clubs?
growing.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. You gotta replace things because they outgrow them. It's
Mhm.
awful.
Yeah.
Oh well. Nah, but I haven't made it out yet. I'm gonna try to start playing come summertime, but we'll see.
See, now is the time for me where I like to actually have a little bit of time to go golfing because once summer rolls around and I got Summer Legion baseball, you got games on Saturday and on Sunday, and I'm working throughout the week. So I feel like my time to golf, like it goes away once you get to late May, June, and into July. Get some time during August before Husker football season, but it's always like 100 degrees, and I'm not 100 degrees man, generally speaking. Like I know some people around here are like, oh yeah, I want to go retire down in Arizona or in Florida. And I'm like, I wouldn't. Way too hot.
We got a hole 7 drenched in sweat.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't even hold the club.
Exactly. So I'm like, this weather is like perfect. I actually have a little time to go and do it. And I like walking the course personally. I'd rather walk it than go be in the carts. And this time of year is so much better for that.
He's young.
I'm a walker too.
You are? I'm
I'm
not.
not gonna lie. I like walking too.
I think
but
where you're at, it's a good walk.
yeah, where I
It's
go
an easier
play,
walk.
it's an easy walk, and I can I can go walk 9 and be done in
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
See where I'm at, it's not an easy walk. See,
Yeah.
we got to ride.
But the exercise is good, and I like getting a little extra time. Well, first off, whenever you hit a bad shot, it always feels better whenever you're walking because it still takes a while to get to your shot. It's like, oh, you know what? I may have hit a ground ball there, but look how far it went. It's actually a good walk, and it gives me more time in between shots, so I don't want to break a club after a bad shot. A little more time to decompress.
See, I love a worm burner because I know that baby's going to be right in a straight line.
Hey,
I know that baby's going to be right in a straight line.
that's one of those ones you hit and you go, where'd it go? Well,
Yeah. Watching it skip.
Thank you for the ground ball reference, by the way, Nebraska baseball.
Ooh.
Oh, how about a sweep this weekend?
Very nice.
They avoided disaster, I would say, in game 1. If I got a chance to watch that because again, Friday canceled. They had to play a double dip on Saturday.
Well, they kind of avoided disaster yesterday.
They
too.
did.
With that late comeback.
The one the first Saturday game, you get I don't want to say it's bad. You get the worst start of Ty Horn's year so far. Three innings, 7 runs, 7 hits. Didn't look very sharp, but the bullpen kept you alive in that one. When you got 4, I mean, the bullpen in the 6 innings of relief, 1 hit. Threw up a bunch of zeros in that one. And I'm going to say avoided disaster based on the fact that the wild pitch, throwaway, get you 2 runs, helped you avoid disaster.
Yep.
In that one. You weren't at your best in that one, but you escape. Putting that bad loss on there. And then in game 2, boy, they were lights out, bats alive, pitching arm alive.
Yasa was dealing.
Woo!
11 strikeouts. If you go watch the slider, oh my goodness, that was working on Saturday.
He's pitching now.
And like whenever you compare it's an 84, 85 mile an hour slider that seems to just fall off the face of the earth at the end with a 97 mile an hour fastball, good luck. And whenever he can locate both of those pitches, which that's like the struggle with him, is can he throw both of them for strikes? He could do that on Saturday. And was it 7 innings pitched?
Yeah,
7 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1 earned run.
Yeah, 3 walks in there. But man, he got it done. They get the bats continue to stay alive. Mac Moyer having another good day. Will Jeske.
Yeah, Mac Moyer first home run as a Husker, I believe.
Yep. They had a good one going there. And then you mentioned yesterday. You're right. They avoided just a little bit more disaster living on the edge.
Yeah, Katsky had a good start. It was just late. Penn State mounts a comeback attempt, and he gets a little bit nervous. But Huskers hold on. Jay Sean, it's what he's been doing all season long. He's been pitching through even some struggles and got Nebraska out of it at the end of that game yesterday.
Yeah,
it's
sweep. 3 in the 9th. Like I said, Katsky another good start. He went 7, by the way. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
You'll take that.
Again, you got to that end with boy, they were struggling at the end, giving up 3. But again, another sweep.
That's the thing. It's
matters.
Taking care of business. Penn
State's
not good.
22.
Penn State's not good.
Winning.
But even whenever Nebraska wasn't playing great baseball, which I don't think they're playing great baseball this weekend, to end it in a sweep kind of shows you the quality of this baseball team.
How about the softball team too?
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
They swept this weekend. They're already 30 wins on the year. Baseball and softball looking pretty sweet this year.
The vibes are high down there.
I think their vibes are high across. They talk about your time there and how like important those vibes can be from other programs. Because right now, when you look at it, you just got basketball off of Sweet 16. They were rolling all year long. Baseball right now, what they're doing, 21 out of 22. Softball looks like they're dead set on being in a regional or headed for the College World Series. Men's gymnastics, they complete a really nice weekend.
Yep, it was really good this weekend for the men's gym.
That, and I'm missing some bowling. They were out there this weekend getting some stuff done.
Track and field had their first home meet
at the that's at the new outdoor complex.
Is that the first time? Did I read it was the first time in 7 years or whatever? It was a long time since they've hosted one of those.
Yeah, it's been a really long time, and I believe I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. They're actually holding the Big Ten or the Big Ten championships in Lincoln at track and field too this year. So, there's a ton of good stuff happening. And it just brings energy everywhere you're at around those facilities because, there's still training table and that kind of stuff. And then the athletes are always seeing each other around, right? They've got similar class schedules and everything else. And so it just raises the energy level around the entire facility. And especially when, some of the other sports aren't pulling their weight, then, because there are more athletes in all these other sports than there are in the one big sport we think about, right?
Mhm.
But it's good. I was covering men's gym this weekend down at the Big Tens at PBA. That was really cool being down there on the floor with them with that huge video board up there, right? You
Just
could
looking up straight through it.
Oh, it's incredible looking straight through it because I didn't realize that on the inside of it,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
also got everything too, because I've never been that low, right?
Mhm.
And but our guys, unfortunately, they got second to Michigan in the team standings, but Michigan's got a really good team. We were really close, but walked away with a bunch of individual championships. Got second in the all around. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're just rolling around. But was it like that for you guys as well when you were there? You go to the training table, everybody intermixed and
Oh, yeah.
hanging out, and
It was probably more so that way when I was there because now everybody's kind of got their own like facilities, if you will,
Mhm.
right? Like there was a shared weight room when I was there, right? Like everybody had one weight room and it was in the stadium, you know.
Yep.
The only folks that had a slightly different weight room setup were, I think, wrestling maybe had their own over at Devaney, right? But volleyball was there, basketball was there. Like everybody had their own. Everybody was in one location. Now, unfortunately, with basketball's got their own setup at PBA, right? And track and fields got their own setup at
I
Devaney,
think
and
volleyball's got their own setup.
gym has completely their own setup at Devaney now. Volleyball's got their own setup, and so now it's a little more disjointed than it used to be. I mean, it was a shared training room, right? Like there wasn't just football only training room. The track athletes were in there. Like there was a lot more intermixing and intermingling amongst all the athletes than there is today. But even then, you still know who everybody is and run into people, I'm sure. But it was very much a, rising tide lifts all ships,
Yeah,
right?
for
Kind
sure.
of setup, right? Where everybody was stoked when other teams are doing well.
yeah, because you look at the list right now. I often think about what you're talking about, how many teams are playing well or doing well with results right now. If that would get under your skin just a little bit, hey, just call it right now football. That's who it is we're talking to.
Yeah.
Would it get under your skin? Like, did it ever get to that point? Because I know you guys had some struggle years, but you're like, there's a lot of attention over here.
You'd catch some flack. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like,
Mhm.
turns out that all the athletes at that level have a little bit of, competitiveness, right? And so you would definitely catch some shots from people if your team wasn't doing that hot.
A few
man.
strays here and
Oh
there.
yeah. All in jest, right?
But kind of not.
But at the same time, it's also like stings just a little bit, right? But oh well, I'm like, I could only imagine what it'd be like hanging out with the basketball team right now if you were on the football team, right? You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't hang
Right?
out.
like, like that'd be a little tough sledding right there.
There should be like what would it be like if it's like this? Like there should be whatever. I don't know how you do it. Like it's like, I don't know, being a donor, like priority points, donor points.
Yeah.
There should be like a pecking order of where you eat and where you get to sit at
Oh,
the training table.
Oh,
Like
you mean-
basketball walks in, and you're like, oh, sorry guys, my bad, I'm in your seat.
that's Alabama style under Nick Saban with their spring game, right? Where the winning team got steak and lobster and everything else, and the losers got hot dogs, right?
As it
That's
should
how
be.
it is. I mean, why not? But the one rule, though, always was you don't hang out with the wrestlers. Those guys are crazy,
Mhm.
right? Like you don't. So you never made fun of the wrestlers.
There was
don't make fun of the wrestlers, man.
One time at UNL, I was like in the very like public student weight room, got a workout in, went to the sauna afterwards,
Mhm.
and there's some psycho in there doing like push-ups and sit-ups in the sauna, and
Yeah.
of course
You're like, that's weird, man.
he was a Husker wrestler,
Yeah.
and we get to talking. He's like, yeah, just don't tell anyone you saw me in here, because they already had practice that morning. So they had like their early morning workout, they had practice, and then he came over to the public weight room because the wrestling team was going to work out more. So he wanted to go get some more work in, drop a little more weight. So he goes off to the sauna and is doing a full workout routine in the sauna. He's like, yeah, don't tell anyone I'm in here.
Yeah, dude.
They're-
I'm telling you, man, wrestlers are different.
Yeah.
They're a different breed.
I'm not, he hours upon hours of practice, he finished up. He goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a full workout routine in the sauna too.
Yeah, man.
Insane.
That's
Mhm.
different behavior.
Yeah, no, you want to tread
That's
lightly.
weird.
You know, I'm just
Tread lightly.
Yeah,
I'm the fatty just trying to sit in the sauna, get my 15 minutes, and he's in there doing a full workout routine.
Don't get me wrong, good dudes, right? Love the wrestlers, right? But just a little different.
one
A
screw
little
loose.
different. Yeah,
one
they're
screw
just
loose.
just a little loose, right? It's like that strip screw on your smoker, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit off,
He went
right?
there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I deserve it. It was a pain, dude.
You
I had,
went
to, I, had to
there.
get, I had to get the drill bit out and go drill the screw out. And it's on there's not a single other screw is giving me issues. But then there's the one problem screw.
Yeah.
And then my idiot just, stripped the head of the screw out.
Learned a valuable lesson.
Did learn a valuable lesson.
I love all of this. I'm just having a good day.
It's a great day. It's a nice little Monday.
Somebody leaving us a note.
No, somebody calling in about tickets that they won. So get that taken care of.
Nice job, Wisey.
Look at you in the hospitality world that you live in now.
Nice job.
Send it up the ladder.
Yeah, you can walk that across.
That's above my pay grade.
You're gonna walk that across the hall.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Good, Arlo, Shane, what's up, man? Justin says I think next year's Masters is gonna be at Jim Hager.
That would be
I haven't
sick.
played.
I don't know if the
how
I don't
cool
know if
that
the
would be.
grass will be as pristine.
From driving by, it looks like it's in about the same shape as Augusta. The public courses are all in great shape right now. Now, I've only played 2 so far this year, and they're both in good shape. But like you drive by the other ones, you go, wow, it's looking green, it's looking luscious.
Well, I'm in a dilemma because
You can't have energy drinks anymore. That's what you
well,
got. That's
for
cut
one.
off, brother.
But tomorrow I have my night free. Do I go golf or do I go watch Husker baseball at Haymarket?
Check the weather.
Yeah, that's going to be a big determining factor right there.
It's supposed to be windy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the next couple for sure.
So do you want to go see home runs, or do you want to see yourself hit it into the woods with that wind? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a tough one.
Yeah. Maybe
But I'm also a fair weather guy, so that's if it's I don't know what is tomorrow. I know Wednesday's like 76 and gusty.
Yeah, Wednesday looks like the day to go.
That's one. I'm playing that day, but like
Maybe
I'm fair
I-
weather. My kids are like, but I'm not gonna play unless it's like at least 55.
maybe I stay inside and watch Husker baseball.
Ooh, there you go.
I'll be,
Is it on
I'll be
TV?
bowling.
League starting back up?
No,
Or has
league-
it been
league-
going?
league's-
Oh, yeah, that's right.
league's
It's
getting
been
close to the
going.
end.
That's right.
They're rolling
That's
right now.
We're in first with a lot of gap between second place.
I love it.
We got to keep it rolling.
Is it
Pun intended.
cumulative?
The season split into 2 halves.
Okay.
So there's the first half of the season, which ends, I think it's the week after Christmas is the following, maybe the week before Christmas, something like that. And then the champion of the first half will take on the champion of the second half. So everything resets midway through the year. So if we win the second half, we have to bowl against the guys who won the first half of the league.
You didn't win the first half?
No,
For a pizza party.
Mm,
we were down near the bottom in the first half. We really turned it around.
Interesting.
Now we're
Pizza party.
Love that.
so the problem is the final week is a pizza party for everybody else except whoever won the first half and second half. You have competitive bowling down there where everyone else is eating
Fine.
pizza, having a good time.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Pressure free bowling, and then you got the pressure down at the end.
They should make the 2 last place teams.
Also bowl to see.
Well, no, they should do the pizza party while the 2 last place teams
Yeah.
are bowling against
It
each
should
other.
be a
That should
we all
be
get to laugh
what
at
it
them.
is, right?
Yeah.
Like the championship should be the week before, and then pizza party with the last 2 teams.
yeah.
And relegate somebody.
I told you. I mentioned relegation.
Out of the league.
Relegate somebody.
Relegate.
That would be
Boy.
awesome. And then the amount of heckling that could happen during that event, it'd be great.
And think of the pressure if hey, if you lose this, you can't bowl in the league next year. Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm not saying it's a great idea, but it's up there.
Or you start negative or something. It's got to be a consequence. So,
Instead, this could be
You're
our first
rolling.
time. If we keep it going, we have like so much gap that we could go out there and just
History
not
in the
show up for a
making.
week and still stay up in first place. So if we make it, we've never bowled in the positional final week where it's determined, say, one first half champion versus second half champion. Whoever wins it wins the whole league. We've never been there before.
I feel like history in the making. It could be a good story or a collapse.
I
don't which
know,
one we're
right?
going. Somehow we have to end up being there on that Tuesday night when they're playing for the ship.
I think we got to get the newspapers out here. We
Well,
got to get
I'll get them out there.
all the journalists out there to cover the momentous event.
I think it's more important that we cover it the following week on Monday, though, regardless.
Oh,
We're going to need a recap.
Yeah. Oh, no,
We're going to need a
it's
recap
happening.
for sure.
That's happening. So, all right, let's take our final break of this fast moving first hour, and we'll come back with more with the doctor, Dr. Dane Todd.
in the first half are like really good at really good at bowling. Probably not good at basketball. There's not much crossover between folks who are good at bowling and good at basketball. But no, they're really good. They carried us in the city championship, so they're well known to us.
Keep the momentum. Just keep the momentum. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Keep the momentum. Don't fall apart.
And that's going to be tonight's basketball game.
Oh. Arlo said that I see at the movie theater last Friday. Yeah, I was there. What time? Was it like 12:45-ish? Arlo, 12:45-ish?
What did you go and see?
If not, there was a guy there that looked just like you.
Well,
I took the boys. Well, one boy backed out. The 15-year-old backed out, which is fine. Lunch at OC over there, and we went and seen Mario. Super Mario.
Oh, how was it?
In 3D was awesome.
You seen Project Hail Mary yet?
Not my wife has.
It's good.
She's loved it. She was good. So Arlo, if it was 12:45 at the old South Point, yes.
That place was a zoo on Saturday. South Point was. I had to do some running for some things, and it was brutal.
Yeah, those Easter weekend or whatever. Yep, the new Mario. Yep, I was there. That was me. Back row with my wife and my youngest, hanging out. It was a good movie.
Oh, tonight's the mystery movie at the Grand.
There you go. What's the title? Have you heard of this? My wife does these. She's a big movie fan. I think actually, let me see something. One minute. Calendar.
Upcoming.
Oh, look at that. My wife, OC movie.
Oh, nice.
She said the mystery movie. So they do a mystery movie. I don't think it's every Monday, but what they do is they give you the all the information about the movie, and it's a movie that's coming out soon.
Oh, so it's like
it'll say like horror, or give you the title.
Yeah.
You buy the ticket and you just walk in blindly. But you're getting a new movie.
This one's rated R.
Rated R.
I think.
Let's see. That's actually kind of cool.
She's done a lot of them. So I think it's a discounted price. So I think it's like a $6 sale. I don't think it's normal price.
Well, Monday's probably a tough night to sled for
$6 plus tax.
$6 plus tax.
That's not
the
bad.
movie. For the mystery movie. Now it could be whatever.
Yeah. And still, you're out $6 and you had a good time.
Yeah. Well,
maybe. Snacks?
Dude.
You talking about snacks?
Yeah, I'm not getting the price of that stuff.
No.
Gotta make money. Congrats on your business.
2 hours and 10 minutes rated R.
There you go. So it just gives you that kind of information. You buy it, get your seats and go.
No, nothing else. Yeah, it's just you get surprised.
Don't get me started on movie ticket concession prices.
Believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. A few moments left for the Dr. Dane Todd. Mystery movie night. Go see it. $6. What do we got? It's a rated R, 2 hour and 10-minute movie.
Mm-hmm.
Go in blind. That's all you got to do.
Leave the kids at home.
You're out $6 plus whatever beverages you're going to consume at the theater. My wife she just loves movies. And I occasionally will go. I went Friday with my youngest, saw the Mario movie. Of course, I was a little late. Had other stuff to do. I got there. And my wife's about the experience of movies. I walked in. The kids got this massive thing of popcorn. And he's got they get you, man. They get you. Mm-hmm. The little popcorn. It's not just in a popcorn bucket.
No.
He's got the Yoshi.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You gotta be special. Yep. Every time.
I just love
Yep. Every time.
You know how many times Yoshi will get used again?
Nope. Not happening. I'll tell you what. When I traveled with the team this year, right? The thing I loved the most when I was a player was the Friday night movie.
Yeah, buddy.
Right? The movie the night before the game. So, of course, I went. It's a whole different experience if you get to walk into a movie theater, popcorn already at your seat.
Oh, wow.
No previews.
Oh, no, that's the way they get you
sit
guys.
down and it just rolls tape.
Like goes dark. Here's your popcorn. Here's everything else. Sit down. Movie.
I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't like it.
I do not need 40. I tell you what, I wish I would go to more movies if they would tell me when the movie was going to start,
Actually start, yeah.
so that I wouldn't waste 40 minutes of my time watching commercials.
It's a real deal. Like,
Like,
they get you because I'm sitting in there in those previews. My kid's like,
We're gonna go see that one. Yes,
that one, that one.
exactly.
yeah, I don't need that in my life.
I like the previews. I wish the movie start time was actually the movie start time, so I knew, hey, if I want to watch the previews, I can show up a little bit early, because it's a tough game. Because usually now it's like, oh, the movie starts at 3:20, you can arrive at 3:40, and that'll be about when the movie actually starts.
If you're lucky.
Is there a movie that sticks out to you from your time that you're like, man, we got to see that? before
Oh,
everybody else?
the worst one.
Worst movie.
Well, the
ever.
one. Well, I shouldn't say it was the worst. There was a couple of real duds, but we went and saw the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre one time.
Oh,
And that was just not the vibe I needed the day before a football game. That was not the one.
Didn't get ready? You ready to go hit people?
We did go see Borat though.
Oh yeah, classic.
As a team, and that was actually it was more funny watching like other guys' reactions to it, right, than the actual movie itself, because it ran the gamut. You got a whole crowd of, but back then we were just there with all the other movie going patrons.
Oh, okay. So you walked in, you had assigned seats of 100 people.
Oh, we didn't even have assigned seats, right? It was
Go find the
we
popcorn
had
and sit down?
tickets. Yeah, we had tickets, but there was like, you were on your own for if you wanted snacks or anything else there, right? Like you were on your own. You were in like with everybody else, right?
There
Nowadays,
you have a
it's
movie-
rent out the entire theater.
Well, there's
like,
this one time
closed.
during the Pelini years where me, my dad, and my brother went to go watch a movie, and in comes like 40 football players.
Yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
gotta sit and watch it with them. And then the movie ends and they step out and there's like a whole team just waiting in the lobby. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Did you have a movie buddy that you like to watch the movie with? Because I tell you what, there's people in my life that I can't watch anything with.
I almost always ended up sitting with Steve Krewall, because Steve and I were pretty good buddies and played the same position, right? We were very similar, but like we were just kind of mosey on in.
Yep.
Wasn't talking to anybody during the movie. Not talking during the movie.
Fullbacks don't talk.
Like we were just rolling by, right? Like it was like, okay, well, this is what we do the night before the game. We go to the movie.
Don't fullbacks just grumble?
Yeah.
Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a grunt. Yeah.
Any clinics going on? What we got?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
still covering
it's-
teams.
I'm
You're
still
covering high school teams right now, aren't you?
Yeah, high school teams are happening, but there's less like in-person coverage right now, especially with a lot of the spring sports, right? Track and field, that kind of stuff, and soccer's all over the place, right? A lot of soccer happening right now, so watch your ACLs.
Are there any PSA injuries happening on a? Because I know you guys track these injuries on a regular occurrence. Are there ones right now that are? Hey, parents, watch out. Let's take care of these arms, legs.
this time of year, it's baseball and softball with overuse injuries, of course. We talk about that every year. And then when soccer's going, there's a lot of ACL injuries that happen. Again, good mechanics, good strength. Don't do things when you're tired. The thing that's going to start popping up here in the next couple of months is water skiing injuries.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Boats are getting back out.
Yeah, people tear their hamstrings doing that. You do not want to do that. And so my PSA for that is, if you are anybody who didn't grow up water skiing, okay, and you are now a early to middle-aged adult, even though it might look like fun, if you don't know how to do it, do not do it.
He's talking to me. He's looking at me. DrDaneTodd.com, 402-484-4012. Doc, good stuff.
Good seeing you
Thanks for hanging
guys.
on. Good seeing you as always. Coming up, we have Evan Blam, the Omaha World Herald. We'll go around the diamond, and we'll jump into some stories that we missed and a whole lot more when we return.
Diagnosed with choroid plexus carcinoma, a brain tumor. St. Jude is helping us put away our fears. We have an amazing team that fights for the best outcome for Braxton. He has the best chance here. I don't have to worry that how much is that bag of fluid going to cost me can I afford it to save my child's life? The donations, they're paying for me to live every day with my son, be stress-free, and enjoy every day with him. I wish there was a word bigger than thank you, more close to the heart, because thank you's not enough. They've given me hope. They've given me my son.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Equal opportunity, especially in the workforce, is the cornerstone of the American dream. Being employed gives us the confidence to be financially independent. There's real meaning in supporting ourselves and those we care about. We feel respected, useful, even empowered to become leaders. But what if you were one of the 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference, such as autism? 81% of adults with developmental differences don't even have a paid job, and only about 1/3 of the public believes they're capable of having leadership roles. Now is the time to change that. Join the SunTrust Foundation in supporting Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, and Special Olympics in creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community by 2025. Together, we can build a broader workforce for the future. Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
The one and only Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena May 2nd and 3rd.
Big refund, big project, big savings at Menards. Turn your tax refund into a new deck. Shop the largest in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber and thick decking. All easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, get pre-estimates fast using our easy-to-use deck design program. Save big on AC2 pressure-treated lumber and thick decking at Menards. Also, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at OIG.SSA.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Longtime Donald Trump ally Steve Bannon winning a Supreme Court order today that is expected to eventually lead to the dismissal of his criminal conviction for refusing to testify before Congress. ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy explains.
In 2024, Steve Bannon spent 4 months in federal prison, convicted of contempt of Congress for his failure to provide documents and testimony to the House January 6th committee. Just before he began that sentence, the High Court turned down Bannon's effort to delay it. But now the justices have thrown out the appeals court decision that upheld his conviction and sent the case back, noting the Trump administration has moved to dismiss it. The court didn't offer any explanation for its decision, which came in an unsigned order.
The White House Easter egg roll underway a couple of hours ahead of a scheduled news conference at which President Trump is expected to give further details about the rescue of a weapons systems officer and pilot who were forced to eject after Iran shot down their F-15.
The downing of that American F-15 marks the first time in this war that Iran has successfully taken down a manned U.S. aircraft. and does raise question about Iran's military capabilities just days after President Trump claimed Iran no longer had the ability to shoot down U.S. planes.
ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz. President Trump threatening Iran with an expletive-laced social media post on Easter Sunday. Iran rejecting the 15-point peace plan offered by the U.S. and, says ABC's Ian Pannell,
the attacks on Iran continue. Israel saying it's killed the head of intelligence for the Revolutionary Guard today, as both the U.S. and Israel launch attacks on Iran's military and civilian infrastructure.
It's a big day for the crew of the Artemis II. The spacecraft will get ready for their lunar flyby. They will slingshot around the far side of the moon, the first humans to do so in 50 years. You're listening to ABC News.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for
Scammers sending out text messages again, claiming to be law enforcement. Good morning. I'm Jeff Modes. Right now, 45 degrees at KFOR. Several of you on Sunday got a text alert regarding unpaid traffic violations. Don't click on it. It's a scam. According to a message from Lancaster County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Kelsey Cruz, completely ignore and delete the text. She also says don't scan any QR codes or engage or provide any personal information. The text message is sent to a victim that says that the recipient has not paid an outstanding traffic violation and that the matter is now under court enforcement. Starting today, an eastbound lane of Cornhusker Highway between 35th Street and Havelock Avenue will close for road work that is set to be done by the winter. Also, Adams Street between 33rd and 41st Streets will close because of work with the Adams Street Improvement Project. It's set to be done by early summer. Also pay attention to the lane restrictions in both areas. As a public safety message on behalf of Lincoln Fire and Rescue, we're reminding you again to properly put out cigarettes if you're a smoker. This comes over a week after LFR handled 6 smoking-related fires in Lincoln that were caused by people putting out cigarettes in containers that have potting soil, which won't help extinguish them. LFR Public Information Officer MJ Lerman says wood chips, fertilizer, and peat moss don't prevent the spread of the fire.
All these fires, usually they have been put out quickly, fortunately, but we have also seen some that have been catastrophic and have really taken off and caused a lot of damage, including loss of life.
Lerman suggests putting out cigarettes in containers with water or sand. In sports, head coach Rhonda Revelle collected her 1,200th career victory as the number 8 Nebraska softball team defeated Rutgers in posting a 7-run first inning en route to an 11-5 win over Rutgers on Sunday afternoon at Bowlin Stadium. With the record, Nebraska swept the series. They moved to 30-6 overall, 11-1 in Big Ten play this season. Mostly sunny today. We'll see a high around 52. I'm Jeff Motes, KFOR News.
Your chance at winning $1,000 is happening right now at Lincoln's KFOR. Just enter this winning word by texting it to 402-258-2800 and you could be our next 1K a day winner. Here is this hour's winning word.
Prize. That's prize. Prize. Prize.
Now text that word to 402-258-2800 for your chance at $1,000 from Lincoln's KFOR.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure.
It's important for you. I want about it. I felt so much better. And told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back to the morning hookup and happy Monday. Special thanks here to the doc, Dr. Dane Todd, hanging out with us every Monday. We're going to talk some more baseball. Evan Bland coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll review, go back and look back on the Penn State-Nebraska weekend. Thoughts on that is they got another one tomorrow night, midweek game against Kansas tomorrow night. And then a couple really big weekends for Nebraska baseball that will set the tone as you look at it, because from that perspective as well, when you look at it right now, over the weekend, Nebraska sits currently comfortable. It can change weekend to weekend. Comfortable number 2 in the Big Ten right now. Right now, they're sitting 11-1. UCLA a juggernaut. They're 15-0. They've won 23 straight ball games.
The only team you're behind is the hottest team in America that just went and swept a top 25 opponent.
Yeah, because a lot of people like Woodstock. Like Big Ten probably is the 2 hottest teams in America probably. One at 23 in a row and one that's won 22 out of 23.
And it helps that those 2 teams are playing in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Because you get outside the top 5 in the conference, and it's a lot of bad baseball teams. But don't let that take away from what UCLA and Nebraska are doing. It still takes a whole bunch of talent. You need to be really good to go reel off that many wins in a row. Like, doesn't matter who you're playing in baseball. Stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is kind of a unique sport in that way that, hey, if you have one guy that has a bad day and it's your starting pitcher, you can lose a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
One guy has a bad day and it's your closer, you lose a baseball game. Like, that's as simple as baseball can be. Or you go up against a guy that, hey, the weather conditions are just perfect. Yep. His breaking ball is working better than it has. He's locating it right on the corners. His fastball, he's got the placement on it and paired it with the off-speed pitch. For whatever reason on that day, your opponent starting pitcher's got it working. He holds you down. You lose a baseball game. Doesn't matter what the level of opposition you're playing is. For these 2 teams to be doing this, no matter who the opposition is, it's very, very impressive. But that's the Big Ten for you right now. Is Nebraska's playing some of the best baseball in America. It's just the only other team in the conference that's playing, or in the country that's playing better baseball than you right now, happens to be first in the conference.
Baseball is a game. It's a very humbling sport. When you think you got it and you're rolling, it'll humble you in a heartbeat. Coming up, but we'll talk more with Evan.
And say one last point on this is I think it's good for Nebraska. They don't have a regular season series against UCLA. You have a better chance of getting UCLA in a one-off in, say, a Big Ten tournament than you do to go play them 3 straight times. If you play that UCLA team 3 times, you're gonna. And that team's just, they could beat about any minute in America.
Yeah, I think where you're seeing a lot of this, and again, I think this just goes without saying pretty much, is what Nebraska has started to develop, whether it be wherever, they're starting pitching. The best teams in the country have depth at on the bump. You started to see that with a solid 3. You've got a couple solid midweek guys that can get it done. And some of that bullpen is starting to perk up and develop. Tucker Timmerman, man, he's had some rough outings out there, but now another 4-inning shutdown moment for him to keep him in that game. You're starting to see that arm talent develop.
You're getting the benefits of now a couple years of Childress controlling your staff. Is it took a couple years, but you finally have guys that are kind of playing in that Childress mold. A lot of strikes, few base on balls. Like, hey, whatever 2 pitches you got, just really go and outwork those, spam them, control those 2, and go out and throw strikes. I can't remember who it was preseason that said Childress could teach something to throw strikes. Was it a squirrel or something like that?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
He's pretty good at what he does.
But yeah, you've finally seen the stat. This right now, it's the 4 arms you have that are starters: Horn, Yasa, Katsky, Blackowitz. It's, to me, that's the best 4 starting pitchers Will Boltz had during his time at Nebraska. These 4 guys all are, for the most part, dealing. And to have the bats that can step in, and when Ty Horn has a bad day, you have the bats that can pick up the team and go get a win despite that, like he did on Saturday in game 1. This team's really, really good. Simple as that. You have more important tests in front of you. I think the series that you have coming up against Oregon and against USC are going to be a better litmus test of how will this team fare in the postseason. But you can understand with the way this team is, as I said, to win this many games in a row, or it's 21 out of 22 they've won.
21 out of 22.
To go and do that, you need to be a pretty dang good baseball team. Can you go and compete against the best of the country in a postseason environment? We'll have a better idea once you get series against Oregon and against USC.
Yep, that'll be a good match. We'll talk with Evan about that. But also, it's 10 o'clock. There's a new keyword right now, and you can text this keyword To 402-258-2800. That's 402-258-2800. And the 10 o'clock keyword is prize.
Prize. Prize.
Chance to win $1,000.
Can I get country of origin?
Eye on the prize.
Definition, please.
Eye on the prize. Tonight, by the way, I want to bring up something. There'll be an eye on the prize tonight, the national championship game. But there's been like stories circulating and get everybody's thoughts and opinions on this. And I'm a very stern one on this one, as the talk is ramped up about the expansion of the tournament. For all reasons you're reading and whatever, it sounds like we're headed to 76.
Isn't it funny when an SEC team gets 17 wins in a season, they decide to expand the tournament? Got to get those guys in.
What I'll say is the NCAA and the TV partners will be happy to have more games to put on TV. And for the fans out there that are dubious, it's going to be more games on Tuesday and Wednesday in Dayton. Like these are playing games that are expanding out. You're going to get more games like that. That first weekend will now be an entire week. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But it does water down the process just a little bit.
That's the thing for me. Obviously, a couple of things I am happy for. I'm happy that Nebraska got it done this year, and it wasn't an expanded field. I think we can all collectively take a breath and say, all right, these are real tournament wins that Nebraska got, because I felt like at some point with Nebraska, it was going to be an expanded tournament or we were going to win a playing game of some sorts. They got it done. It's the watered down product part of this that is, to me, more, again, the money side is going to win on this. The TV side is going to win on this. To me, it feels like when they have bowl games, the bowl season, when the 5 and 7s get in, like I think the pageantry of what the tournament was designed to be. It is the elite. The 68, we'll say 68 now, but it's the old 64. You qualified. You either won your conference tournament, or some you finished for number 1 in your regular season, or you got the at-large bid because you qualified. You got 20 wins, whatever the criteria. You played the best schedule, the hardest schedule, whatever that was. It was an exclusive entry into something.
Bingo.
Expanding, to me, takes away that exclusivity of that entry.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part for me, is what does that mean? Now, also with this, again, I'm against it. So, but let's just say it's going to happen. This is going to happen most likely. What does that look like now from the play-in situation? How do you design that now? Because there's a lot of people that tell you, hey, playing games are fine, but why aren't all the 16s playing in it? Why is it 11s? Why is it whatever? What does that mean now from those playing situations?
And I guess if there's any consolation with fans that here don't like, by the time Thursday rolls around, it should still be your classic field of 64. From what they've talked about with expansion in the past, it once Thursday rolls around, it's back to a normal tournament. You get more games to watch on Tuesday and Wednesday. Like, in terms of the product of March Madness, this is not going to change it that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna change your Tuesday and your Wednesday. You're probably gonna have all day games Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of it's gonna set the madness up early. You're gonna try to squeeze in more games that should be very competitive on that Tuesday and Wednesday. It's more the tradition that is like, I don't like this.
To me, it's like,
because once Thursday rolls around, there shouldn't be that much that's changed. Teams will have to play their way in.
To me, I'm feeling like I'm watching Bob Barker on the putting contest when it's hole in 1 and you miss it and he goes hole in 2. You have another chance.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I think this is all driven by some of those other teams. Hey, Auburn, we're looking at you. Congrats on your NIT win of allowing more of those guys to get in. The arguments are less, I guess.
And that's another talking point, is those tournaments, NIT, Crown, they
didn't have that one this year.
Yeah, I forget what
CBI, CIB, whatever.
What's going to happen to those tournaments? Are they?
I didn't watch one of them.
Right. Are they going to be completely dead and gone?
Yes, I think the NIT lost its way last year anyway. I am okay with postseason play. right? But be exclusive. The exclusivity of the big dance. Then you go to the 32, the NIT, and then whatever they end up with the crown, that's where you fall. But the NIT is being the crown eventually to me is going to take over the NIT based on the fact that it's an NIL driven monster to make money for the kids, right? For the players. The NIT now, if you grew up as an old school guy, the NIT was awesome to watch because you went to go to and we've talked to T about it. That ended up in Madison Square Garden. Is that where they're back at? Did they go back there again this year? I don't even know. I didn't watch it. I just saw an alert that Auburn won. And in other years, there might not be a post of who won it. But this year, the fact that Auburn won it stood out to people.
Mm-hmm.
And did West Virginia win the other one, the crown? Or is it over?
I think so.
I know they beat Creighton. They sent Mac to his retirement.
And they played Oklahoma last night. I don't know who won.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
But you start to look and go, what are those? So you got the 68. They go 8 more teams. What is the criteria for those other 8 teams now? Who gets those bids? I'm going to miss the exclusivity of like, what team were you? Oh, you were 76. Like, who would that? Like, you go down and now you look at like whether it be RPI or Ken Palm or Net. Who was not in that would be in is the question. And what level of competition or team gets in of those other 8?
Yeah,
is the question.
Yeah, I don't think they care.
They don't. I agree.
Don't, because you want to know the why on this? The deal with CBS, Turner Sports, and the NCAA for the broadcasting rights is set to expire in 2032. And what you're doing here is before you get back to the bargaining table to hammer out a new deal or put it up on the open market for other teams, you're trying to get a couple of years of an expanded field where you can sell. Hey, I know I think the last deal was 8 years. They expanded. It was originally a 12-year deal, and then I think they expanded it by 8 years, and it was $8.8 billion for those 8 years. Something like that. You are now just trying to increase the value of what this is going to be by having more games, more ratings, more eyes on the television set. You're able to sell more ad dollars. So whenever the NCAA comes back to the bargaining table, you can justify a raise.
Look what we did.
A raise in the rates. But because 2032 is when it expires, it means you're going to be at the bargaining table coming up here soon.
Real soon.
Probably in the next 2-3 years. You're back at the bargaining table trying to work out some sort of extension. Now you can turn around to them once you have 2 or 3 years of an expanded field on the table and say, this is how many eyes, how many more eyes we got in the television set, how many more ads you're able to sell on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's why this is our new number. It's higher. Yes. Inflation has happened, but we've also brought you more games. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. A lot more to come. I expect that to be something that follows an afternoon championship and a lot of discussions after that. So let's take a break. And we come back. Let's go back to the Diamond, back to Haymarket Park, and talk to our guy, Evan Bland from the Omaha World Herald.
I do fear a day where it's not CBS and TNT broadcasting March Madness.
Yeah.
They've had it for so long, and they do it right.
They do it right.
They let you stream most of the games on. I know it's not what it was. It used to be all the games streaming for free online, and now you have to have the it's the cheap paid account now, I think, that gets you all the games.
Yep.
But still, it's so accessible to everybody. Because you give it to like NBC, half the game's going to be on freaking Peacock. Streaming live exclusively.
Live exclusive. I get the why, I don't like the why. Yeah, God bless you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
We rescheduled our game from Saturday to tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And now, please take a look at this update. Sandhills is canceling all 7:30 games tonight.
They're canceling all their 7:30 games. There's some incoming weather, I think. It's just
I know we got weather coming this weekend, which we got
showers in the vicinity now.
a huge youth tournament this weekend that we have like all hands on deck from and potential for rain on Saturday. Pretty detrimental to them.
Shower or rain or wet snow possible. Less than 1 inch of snow tonight. That was fun. So yuck. I get to these really nice weekends where I get to like actually relax, you know? And then you just don't want to do it anymore. Like come to Monday, you're like, oh man, no, you know, it'd be really nice. One. Welcome back to the Morning Hookup again. Happy Monday. I got in my world, Harold. Evan Bland. Evan, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys.
Happy Victory Monday as Nebraska baseball continues to roll. And what we were just talking about it. One could say they're the hottest team in America right now, but there's a team just ahead of them in the Big Ten that's won 23 straight. But Nebraska, Penn State, go back to kind of let's go through the series a little bit. Go to game one, avoided a little disaster, and Ty Horn not having his best stuff early in that one. But talk about the bullpen in game one and the weird antics on how they got the 2 runs late in that game. But again, I think the story of game one is going to be the bullpen and Tucker Timmerman and them pretty much a one hit total in the 6 innings of relief work.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, you obviously want more from your Freddie guy. I'm sure Ty Horn would be the first to say that he needs to give him more length, especially to start a doubleheader on a Saturday like that. But for sure, the big takeaway is that you've got a guy in Tucker Timmerman who, don't forget, was a starter, a weekend guy, Friday guy for Nebraska in the past, who they have the luxury of bringing in the 3rd or the 4th inning or whatever it was to go out and essentially be a safety net and be sort of that backup starter in that role. And so he comes in and settles things down, and Jay-Sean Unger does what he does in the last couple innings. And, you could just kind of feel like, Nebraska was down 4 runs in the middle innings, but you just kind of sensed that they were going to come back. I mean, with what their own track record has been, with what Penn State has struggled through this year, it just kind of felt like, hey, if Timmerman or somebody in relief can just buy them a few innings, that they were going to be able to make that up late. And that's how it played out, and set the tone for the day and for the weekend. And just, I think, was another reminder that there's more pitching depth here than Nebraska's had the luxury of enjoying here for at least the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, and whenever I look at specifically the starters Nebraska has, that 4 with Horn, with Yasa, with Blackowitz, and with Katsky, could you make an argument this is the best starting rotation Nebraska has had in the Will Bolt era? Because this group is just really settled in. It feels like, every single weekend, I know the quality of competition hasn't been great as of late, but that's going to happen in the Big Ten. It just feels like you have confidence every single day that you're going to get a solid starting pitching performance.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, really the only other staff that would be in the mix would be the 21 team, and we never really saw how that would play out because they didn't have midweeks in that season with the pandemic year. So, yeah, I think it's played out that way. And, it's so much different than what it's been at times the last 3 years when you have a Tuesday or Wednesday game, and you don't even know who's going to be the guy. And whoever the guy is, you're counting on like an inning or two, and then you're going to figure it out and piece it together, and maybe somebody's hot. And it's been a lot simpler this year. I mean, really the only drama was opening weekend. Cooper Katzke's under the weather, and Gavin Blackowitz takes the Sunday job, and they end up switching back, not because of ineffectiveness, but just because they wanted Katzke and his style to play out on the weekends. And so you feel good about Blackowitz giving you multiple innings. I know they want to be a little conscious with his workload. He's a sophomore who's already exceeded his entire innings limit from last year, his innings total from last year. So they're looking at him a little bit. But then again, Timmerman's a guy who reminds you, he can give you some long-term length. And Jason Unger has given you multiple innings in relief. And that's a guy I think as soon as next year you're going to see in the rotation in all likelihood. So, yeah, I mean, you have more options certainly than you've had before. You don't have to piece it together as much on a Tuesday the way that you see a lot of teams doing it. And, it's a good place to be because you've got guys who are your stars right now. But I think also you see maybe what this rotation could look like next year before you start looking at, hey, who can break out, before you start looking at who you can add in the portal. There are already guys internally that are taking that future step while contributing right now too.
It's Evan Bland with us from the Omaha World Herald. And Evan, when a team is playing like this, it's hard to nitpick and find, some of the holes in them, but they've developed so much over the season. But to get to that point of getting back to Omaha and being a College World Series teams, what are some things that they need to continue to develop on and to get them to the next level?
Yeah, I think you need probably a couple more bullpen options still that you feel good about in that 6th, 7th, 8th type inning. I mean, Unger is a guy, obviously, who they're going to lean heavily on. We talked about Timmerman, but you'd love to see that next guy or two really emerge that you feel great about. Maybe Ryan Harrahill's that guy. Maybe Chase Olson's that guy. Grant Clevenger's had his moments. Price Bender's had his moments. You'd love maybe one or two of those guys to take that next step up in the next few weeks. I think that's one thing you always see is, like, if you're making a postseason run, there's always going to be that one game or two where you have to rely on guys who aren't your aces and your studs necessarily. And so, that's one area. And I think, finding ways to really cash in, and it kind of sounds odd to say offensively because Nebraska's done a pretty good job of that, but they've left a lot of guys on base too. And even last weekend, there were moments where they left the bases loaded or they kind of had Penn State teetering and you were ready for the knockout punch and it didn't quite come. So I think that's probably another area where you'd love to see that clutch gene take hold just a little bit more. And like you said, that's definitely nitpicking because the lineup length is as good as it's been under Nebraska, under Will Bolt at Nebraska. You've seen guys step up and break out. Mac Moyer, Drew Grigo, Will Jeske among them. Jalen or Jeter Worthley. So I think you probably have to squint a little bit to make that criticism, but that's what happens when you have an 18-2 March and you just pull off another sweep and you're one of the hottest teams in the country. So they're certainly trending that way. And now you've got a chance, especially these next couple of weeks, to prove you've got these traits to make a big run when the calendar hits June.
Again, we're speaking to Evan Bland from the Omaha World Herald. Evan, well, let's talk about a guy the evolution or development of this young man, and it's on the bump, and it's Carson Yasa. What you've seen from him as of late. We all know the live arm that he's got. We all know that there's been some documented consistently throwing strike with him. But talk about what you've seen from him and his ability now, what I would say his ability to learn, and he's learned how to pitch versus just throw the fastball a lot in these games.
Yeah, I think we're past like the novelty stage with Yasa, where you think about how he was limited last year and didn't throw it all 2 years ago because he just had those command issues. And he's just been so consistent, really, outside of maybe one or two starts where I mean, he's missing bats at a high rate. He's gonna, I think he'll probably end up contending to be one of the top 5 or 10 individual strikeout seasons in program history, and like that's the way that he's trending right now. And he's such an interesting pitcher to watch, because if you're an opposing lineup and you come in and you're trying to prepare for him, like the first thing you have to account for is, hey, the dude can throw 96, 97 mile an hour with the fastball. But what's so interesting about him is like that's not his best pitch. It might not even be his second best pitch. Like he's got this slider cutter deal and another off speed pitch, and it was on full display against Penn State, where they were so worried about the heat that he would drop these breaking pitches in the dirt and they couldn't adjust in time, and they're swinging through it. He strikes out 11 batters and gives Nebraska some length in the second game of that doubleheader after they spent 2 of their best bullpen arms. So yeah, I mean, he's got a ton of confidence in his abilities. The coaches have a ton of confidence in what he's doing. We talked about it before the season. I thought he was one of those guys that, like, if he took what he did in the off season into the season, like that was going to be a big X factor for what Nebraska's doing. And I think he's taken that to another level now, where you almost expect it every week, where he's going to, throw a quality start and give Nebraska a chance to win games.
Evan Bland with us here from the Omaha World Herald. And Evan, I kind of talked a little earlier about how the most recent stretch of games hasn't been against top quality opposition necessarily. Like you look at some teams that are kind of lower half of the Big Ten, but that all changes. You're looking ahead the next 2 weeks. You got a midweek home game against Kansas coming up tomorrow night. You got Oregon on the weekend. Creighton comes to town next week. You got USC, and then you head to Kansas coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow. How important is this upcoming stretch of games going to be if Nebraska does want to host a regional at Haymarket Park this year?
Yeah, it's a defining stretch. And, their season's kind of gone in stages, where the last month to 6 weeks has been about how do you avoid those RPI potholes and take care of business. They've done that to a spectacular level. And now, to your point, like this is where you get some attention nationally. I mean, Kansas is a fringe top 25 school right now. I think they've won 6 in a row. Coming to Lincoln, it'll actually be the first team in Haymarket Park this year that comes in with a winning record. So that tells you the challenge there. And then, you go to Oregon, you got USC, both of whom are still ranked in the polls at this point. I mean, really an opportunity to solidify your spot in the Big Ten standings even further. And I mean, the RPI stuff, it makes a difference. Like they just swept Penn State at home, and they dropped like 4 or 5 spots in the RPI because Penn State, had an RPI in the 2, worse than the 200 or something like that. So this is your chance to go from, I think Nebraska's right around 27 in the RPI now. Like if you win these 2 series and you continue to take care of the midweeks, like this is where you make that move into the top 15, maybe start to look at that top 10. And that's really the range that you're talking about when you're hosting is top 16 national seed, but typically those are teams with top 20 RPIs. So major opportunity for Nebraska in the Big Ten in terms of hosting a regional to really validate the season that it's having right now. And, it should be a lot of fun. I think they continue to show that they can win in a lot of different ways. And, Oregon and USC in particular are going to challenge that in the next couple weeks.
And Evan, it's not just the baseball team, but the softball team is absolutely rolling as well. We said earlier the vibes seem to be high in those 2 programs. Coach Ravel just grabbed her 1,200th win after a sweep against Rutgers. What can you say about both of those programs, and then especially the softball team?
Yeah, it's been fun. I think I was looking at the schedules this weekend. This was the last time that those 2 teams are going to play at home on the same weekends, just the way that it lines up with conference tournaments and regionals and things. So it's, having been down at the park, it's a cool deal. Like when fans don't know what to do, like, hey, we want to watch the baseball game, but then pop over to bowling and see what's happening over there. And, they're kind of even doing it to another level than what the baseball team's doing it. They schedule difficult. They've got star players all over the place. They're in position to host not just a regional, but a super regional. I think I saw they were 5th or 6th in the polls this week. And so, just another team that's absolutely on a roll, that knows what it wants to do, that knows how it is going to go about beating opponents. And certainly Coach Ravel's done it for a long time. And she stuck it through in some years when, the wins weren't quite as plentiful. And so it's cool to see her, having a team like this that's, certainly a favorite to make it to Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series. And, as much as we've seen Husker Nation show out for successful programs in different sports, it would be something to see them pack Bowling for a regional or a super and see how much they could travel south if they end up making that Women's College World Series too.
Evan, hey, going back to baseball again, real quick, when you look at the makeup of this roster, whether it be the guys at the plate, the field, or the arms that have been added, what has there been one surprise of one transfer or young one that joined the team that is like, oh, we didn't know we had that, but it's been a huge cog in the lineup?
Yeah, I think there are a couple. I mean, Matt Moyer is one. He was not an opening day starter for Nebraska. Like they planned on putting Devin Nunez in center and maybe using Moyer off the bench some. And he lays claim to the leadoff spot and center field job after a week and has been unbelievable and very consistent in that role. And so I think that's been huge for what this offense is doing as they shift to more of a power style approach. Like Moyer's been the guy who's just getting on base all the time. OBP, I think, of still right near 500 at this point of the year, which is outstanding. I think I'd put Drew Grigo in that mix too. Like he was a guy coming into the year who wasn't necessarily part of the plan as a starter in the outfield, but you've had some cold streaks from guys or some injuries crop up and he's gotten his opportunity. And now you look up and he's been in a fixture in right field really for the last month or so. He's hitting home runs. He's on some speed. You kind of forget that he's still acclimating to college baseball in this role for the first time. So you talk about how the lineup has lengthened and been more versatile and how it can beat you. I mean, Grigo's been a big part of that. He was a touted prospect in-state kid out of high school and someone who's going to be a big part of this program for a long time. But I think he's probably accelerated his timetable a little bit to become such a cog in what this team's doing right now too.
And Evan, I asked that based on the fact that, and give me your thoughts, is how the difficulties and obstacles that a Big Ten team like Nebraska and the hurdles they have to cover with their current maybe NIL situation or scholarship situation, but the hurdles they have to cover and how right they have to be on the talent evaluation side to have seasons like this going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think that conversation is going to shift a little bit in the next 2 years. Troy Dannon, the AD, has already said Nebraska is going to ramp up the baseball team to be fully scholarshiped within the next year or two. So right now they are playing from behind relative to some of these teams at the very top. I mean, everybody in the SEC pretty much is fully scholarshiping guys, and then you've got NIL and some of the things that go into that. Nebraska's, I think, roughly scholarshiping maybe half of its roster, maybe a little bit more. They're able to take care of guys through some academic scholarships and different things like that as well. But yeah, I mean, they're getting closer to an even playing field. They're not there, I don't think, this year, which does maybe add a little bit more, of a positive impression to what this team's doing right now. But they have hit on guys, and whether it's freshmen, whether it's some of the junior college players that have come in, certainly the portal with guys like Cooper Katsky, that's been effective, and they've been able to retain guys too. I mean, you've got Joshua Overbeek back again. Dylan Carey comes back for his senior year. Rhett Stokes is someone who's going to be a coach next year. He's been an invaluable utility guy, filling in around the infield. So yeah, I think they've done a good job evaluating talent, creating a culture where guys want to stay and want to play more of a selfless brand of baseball. And it's sort of all adding up to this heater that they're on right now, and we'll see how long it keeps going.
Evan Bland with us here from the Omaha World Herald. It's the morning hookup, and Evan, as you look ahead to this weekend, I think things could work out really well on Sunday, where you have that noon start. That's a 2 p.m. start against Oregon. You can watch that game on BTN Plus, and then as soon as it wraps up, like 4:35, you can flip it over and watch the end of the Masters. I mean, it could work out well. Maybe you go 2-screen action. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But it could work out well. 2 p.m. start in Eugene. Flip it over to the Masters. Is that what it's going to look like on your TV?
You're painting quite the picture, man. I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah. I mean, if they're going to be wrapping it up on the West Coast, then you can kind of settle in and have your pimento cheese and do all the rest. But yes, we've been so spoiled, I think, around here with Nebraska athletics this year, where the run the basketball was on, and now you're into baseball, softball, and you've got 2 more months of just really compelling action still. I think they're so, the both teams are so interesting to follow and the success that they've had. And then, by the way, you've got the Masters and I'll be watching the NBA playoffs as a Spurs fan. And I mean, so many other baseball's underway, pro baseball. So it's a heck of a time to be alive for sure.
Well, then tonight we got the national championship in college basketball, a matchup, a Michigan team that Nebraska fans saw, and they saw them dominate their way through the entire season in the Big Ten. And then UConn, a team that people really didn't have the greatest sentiment about going into the tournament, but they have proved everybody wrong and gotten back into the national championship. Are you riding with the Big Ten, or are you riding with Dan Hurley?
I'm going Michigan. That was the team I picked in my bracket to start this thing. I think they end the Big Ten drought, which is ridiculous that it goes back to like 2000. So, I mean, the way they dismantled Arizona, too, it just tells me that this is a team on a mission. UConn kind of has the team of destiny feel after the way they beat Duke last weekend. So we'll see what Dan Hurley has up his sleeve. But, yeah, I mean, the way I always saw Michigan was like that was a team that ran away and won the Big Ten in a year when the league was as strong as ever. And it kind of felt like they were bored doing it. And so the tournament they've been able to lock in, I just think they've got too much talent. The coaching's at a high level. I kind of feel like Michigan might win it by, comfortably. But we'll see how it goes. You can't count UConn out. I hope it's a close game.
Yeah, it should be fun. And unfortunately, the sad part is at the end of college basketball is upon us there as well. So, but Evan, man, we appreciate you, as always, taking the time out on a Monday to hang out with us. Have a great week, my friend.
Appreciate you guys. See ya.
Evan Blam, the Omaha World Herald. Great stuff from him. Let's take our final break. Come back with stories that we missed. Yeah. Both.
So I think we're going to open with this day in sports, and then we'll get into stories that we missed.
Perfect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Seem to make the most sense.
Like it.
Breaking news, Angel Reese is being traded.
I saw that. Anyway.
I'm plead the fifth. That's good. No, I'm not. I'm not. Don't do it, Hooks.
Man, it's going to be so hard to make it to Thursday. And the problem is once Thursday rolls around, you're just like, man, I wish it was Sunday.
I know. It's my buddy who I tell you about the Masters party. Like, this is what I get. Like, I knew it was coming because he's such a big Masters guy. It was this. It's just a picture of us, like Happy Masters Week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fired up.
I got to workshop and get my my peach bourbon barbecue sauce ready to go. I think I'm going fully homemade with it.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
Well,
I'm
weekend,
glazing ribs.
Getting that smoker fixed, just open your entire. I mean,
peach bourbon barbecue ribs.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to get them in the smoker. Then we'll do the Sunday edition of the Average Joe Sports Show. I'll come home. It should be a perfect time to get the ribs wrapped up. And then you unwrap them and glaze them with the barbecue sauce. Let them finish for about 45 minutes, an hour. Get it all tacky and nice. Oh. Do I even need side dishes? Maybe just egg salad sandwiches. Egg salad sandwiches.
Oh, you gotta go. That's it.
Yeah, I got a good egg salad recipe too.
Yeah, I've already because I'll do part of the match. Like I'll watch Saturday with my boys, and I've already put on the list of like. Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. Special thanks to Evan Blam, the My World Herald, hanging out with us on a Monday. I enjoy having everybody on, but man, when you can say Victory Monday every Monday, because the teams are doing so well, it just makes it hits a little harder when you're able to say that. We're going to go through some stuff coming up. We're going to talk Masters throughout the week, by the way. We'll talk about menus that we're preparing, what you'll be doing. And I think somebody asked me last week, I missed it on one of the streams and we were off. But have you had a chance? Do you look at the Masters menu when you're out there?
Oh, yeah. The prices is the first thing that always jumps out.
I've been out there, again, blessed a couple times to go. And this is so true. Now, this is not true with the apparel shop. Okay. That's where it's like buying a movie ticket and going to the movie theater. Okay. All the stuff that comes with it. But you can legit, man, if you look at this menu, like, have you thought about taking a $20 bill and what you'd be doing?
Ooh, that's a good conversation here.
So think about, we'll do that coming up, but like, just have your thoughts. $20, what you could do for $20 at the Masters, just eating and drinking. It's an endless amount of possibilities and get a good buzz on $20.
Well, should we just do that now?
Do it. Go it. I like it. Boy, look at this. All right. So
I'm getting 8 egg salad sandwiches.
8 at $1.50 a pop.
Yeah, you still have money left over.
Yeah,
I still have $8 left, right?
Look, man.
Yeah, $12.
You just stopped me at the first two because I'm not going any further. I'm having a couple of each of those. Egg salad and pimento cheese, $1.50 a pop. Forget the breakfast. Don't care. Boy, how about the beer?
Well, I am getting at least a cup of coffee. $2.
Yeah.
I'm at least getting a cup of coffee.
Sure. It doesn't go good with egg salad.
It doesn't
or
matter.
Pimento cheese.
Coffee goes fine with everything. I can have coffee and egg salad just fine.
Egg salad and coffee sounds like a stomach ache.
It'll be the nicest bathrooms you've ever been in. If that's any helpful to you. But they just got it again, man. $1.50 sandwiches. The most expensive sandwich, like you want to step your game up. Got a little classic chicken, a little Masters Club, $3.
Can you go wrong with any of those sandwiches?
Nope. I've had them all.
I don't think so.
But it's just the mainstays are at the top. And I like how they put the little Masters. If you look at the menu, it's got the Masters logo right beside pimento cheese and egg salad. You can dabble in a little breakfast, but man, then you get into domestic beer, $6. Import beer, $6. Give you guys a little glass of white wine. A little $6. $6 beers. Walk around the course, probably getting a cool keeper cup too.
Mm-hmm. Now, what always looks interesting to me is the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich.
I've had it. It's amazing.
Okay, that's worth $3.
Yes, but again, $20. Think about it. $20.
$20 you can eat all day
long. It's the other $400 you're going to spend on shirts because they're like $100 a shirt if you're going out there. But it's just it's always an interesting conversation going to the Masters. It's that menu, and it's so efficient. That's the coolest part. It's like double lined, and they've got sandwiches. They're all pre-done, and they're just on the cheapest white bread out there. It's amazing, and you don't even care. It's the most glorious pimento cheese, the most glorious egg salad you've ever had. I don't know if it's because it's that good or you're like, I got this for $1.50. And I just picture it. I don't know if it's even true. I picture it like an after church meal, and all the ladies of the auxiliary club are in the back just slopping up sandwiches. I want to picture that as I was going through the line. $20.
Speaking of the Masters, on this day in sports history, 1958, Arnold Palmer won his first Masters title. He would go on to win 4. He beat Doug Ford and Fred Hawkins by 1 stroke. It was the first of his 7 major titles as well. But 1958, Arnold Palmer wins his first at Augusta.
Wow.
And one of the best drinks ever was named after him.
Really?
You guys don't like Arnold Palmer?
Yeah, remember that old, I like Arnold Palmer's. Remember that old ESPN commercial?
Yeah.
Where it's Arnold with his caddy going and getting the perfect Arnold Palmer, the mix. And then who was it? Was it SVP that says a master at work or something like that? He's mixing up the perfect Arnold Palmer in the ESPN lunchroom. It's pretty good.
That's a good one. Those are the little classic good commercials they used to make.
On this day, 1973, Roberto Clemente's jersey is retired by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Number 21.
Wow.
One of the greats.
Going through a few in here.
1979, Earl Weaver won his 1,000th game as manager. A 5-3 Orioles victory over the White Sox.
I was a little mean to Hooks on the last day in sports history, so we'll give him some grace here.
Oh, I know you're going to.
2009, North Carolina beats Michigan State for their 5th national title. Ty Lawson.
Wait.
21 points.
Ty Lawson, one of my favorites.
One of the fastest in the end with a basketball.
He was electric to watch.
Was that the Hansbrough years too?
Yep.
Those teams were good.
Those were good teams. Solid. That goes back to like, let's not just Carolina, but during that time of like that's the exclusivity of college basketball that I just loved. There wasn't the transfer market. There wasn't the NIL. Boy, those teams were like, you were getting dudes on dudes and the occasional like electric freshman that led the way. Like Hansborough spending 4 years, 4-time All-American. Those types of players, not just Hansborough, but there are other ones out there were just so much fun to watch. Trying to look at some other ones here. I'm not going to that other championship because I know you saw that one.
Yep.
Thank you for giving me the grace on that one. Oh. What is that one?
On this day last year, Alex Ovechkin became the highest goal scorer in NHL history with his 895th career goal.
Wow. There's some old ones in here.
1987, Sugar Ray Leonard
I just had
upsets marvelous Marvin Hagler at Caesars Palace.
Boy, boxing at its purity right there, watching those two.
The first designated hitter in the MLB was used on this day in 1973. Ron Blomberg became the first designated hitter, and he walked with the bases loaded in his first appearance.
Whew. Well, there's a lot of good stuff happening.
Ooh, should we get stories we missed quick?
Stories. I'm just going to go. The stories that we missed.
The stories we missed. The morning hookup.
Were you going to tell me about Angel Reese being traded?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's wrong. Boy, interesting stuff in the NBA. Luka, we all know Luka went out with looks like a hamstring thing. It seems like apparently in Europe they do a lot better things than we do. Tiger Woods going to get treatment abroad, and now it says that Luka will fly to Europe to seek a specialized treatment for his grade 2 left hamstring strain to hopefully get himself back and ready for the playoffs.
Babe. We Blackwell into the portal?
Blackwell in the portal, Wisconsin. Blackwell in the portal.
As well as Bryson Tiller from Kansas.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be able to talk about it because a lot of that, because we have Robin Washut tomorrow. The portal opens up tomorrow. Officially, they'll open up tomorrow. We'll have him, Brian Munson. Somebody will be crowned the national champion tomorrow. More keywords. You still have a few minutes. Prize, Prize. Get it in. You guys have a great Monday. We'll catch you on a Tuesday.